Hello, pie makers, and welcome to the Bad Reading Podcast. My name is Atlas Novak, and today we have with us
Nick Kane.
And today we have brought the hilarious guest. Please welcome Mia Mars.
Hi, I'm Mia Mars. I'm ready to have my favorite show ruined.
That's what the show's for. Mia, thanks for coming on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
as always, we're going to ask, what are you into?
Sexually?
Let's start there.
I'm surprised nobody has made that joke before now. It took 11 episodes
That's
for
how you know
somebody to
she's-
be like, sexually?
That's how you know she's fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I
So,
think it was
yeah.
more what, like, TV show, movie, book, fiction thing are
Okay.
you into?
You is a great one that I've been watching lately, but
I'm
the second
flattered.
season...
Uh-huh.
The second season is too much, but the topic of the episode today is one of my favorite shows that I can't watch it without crying.
Crying?
Oh, yeah, they love each other so much, but they can't touch. It's so sweet and so cute.
It didn't make me cry when I watched it. It definitely, like, plucked some strings, but...
Oh, yeah, it plucks your heartstrings, but if you watch it enough times and when you're lonely, you will cry.
That's what it is. So the difference is, at my headspace right now, as I'm watching it, I'm seeing somebody, so it's less sad, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing what's being referred to as a zombie, which is somebody who ghosts you and then comes back. So that's a thing I had to make up because I didn't know that was something that could happen. But yeah,
You're getting Macbeth, Dio.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna die a horrible screaming death in like a pit somewhere. Or
At least your zombie came back, man. Dude, I think mine ghosted me because I was like, it wasn't a girl or anything. It was like it was a gig opportunity where they're like, oh, dude, we need someone to perform for our wedding. We might pay you like $2,500. I'm like, what? What do I have to do? It's like,
might pay you.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, we just have to we just have to see a photo of you completely nude. I'm like, you see,
Nope.
It's like, are you a nudist colony? Like yeah, we're a nudist colony. And I'm like, yeah, no. But I was thinking like, what if they do have that money? Like I could use it, you know, if they're not recording. But
Would you do a gig for $2,500 nude doing stand up?
fuck yeah,
You would?
Absolutely.
Can I wear a bra?
I don't know. Ask him. He's the one with the possible gig.
Well, I asked them, you know, seriously, like I asked them if I could like send them a photo of just, you know, like they needed a
Undies or
photo of
something.
me.
Head
Like,
to toe?
They needed a photo of me that is as nude as I'm willing to be before the show. So I was like, I'm just gonna take a picture of me just in my underwear because I'm not fucking showing I'm not showing the family heritage line, you know, completely like through the internet. Like I don't know who these freaking people are. So I'm like, here's a photo of me, and then I wake up tomorrow morning. They're like, yeah, they really need a photo of you nude. So yeah, we're probably gonna pass on that. I'm like, I bet you don't even have $3,000.
I like how they asked what you were willing to do, and when you didn't do nude, they were like, "Yeah, fuck you."
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm the weird one.
I'm the weird one having a completely naked wedding. What does the bride wear?
Yeah.
I don't know. See, that's why I wanted to do the gig. Is like it'd make an amazing story. Like, what if they were telling the truth and it was just like, you see, I'll never know now.
Oh, yeah, that's why I am pro bestiality, because I would love to see somebody marry an animal and, like, see, I don't know, what is it, the cow walk down the little fucking...
Yeah. Seeing like a cow in a wedding gown.
And that's
with
how we found
a
out
veil.
Mia Mars was a furry.
Ah,
Anyway, we got super off track, but we're doing the episode about Pushing Daisies, if it wasn't obvious from the title, the description, or the terrible YouTube thumbnail if you're watching the visual.
I think I found a loophole. I
What?
think I found a way you're not going to ruin my favorite show with fanfiction, because they can't touch.
They can't, I mean, they... Okay.
Should we go straight for it? Ruin my show, baby.
Come on.
Okay, fine. So, right, the premise of what Pushing Daisies is, because not everybody has seen the thing. It's a show about a guy who is able to bring people back to life, dead people, at a touch. But if they stay alive for longer than a minute, something else in the immediate vicinity has to die. And if he touches them again, they die forever. So the premise is he teams up with a private investigator to like poke dead people and be like, "So how'd you die?" And they'd be like, "I got run over with a car." Cool. And then they die again.
Yep.
And then he also has his childhood sweetheart who was killed before the show began, and then he brings her back to life, and they love each other, but they can never touch again because he would kill her.
I don't know if that's funny. Why did I laugh at that?
Dark humor, maybe?
I guess, I don't know.
but yeah, so like they get around it by like, kissing through saran wrap, and they have like a divider in his car with like a rubber glove so that they can hold hands and all that good stuff.
It's like the Bubble Boy, but like if they made that a sitcom. From Seinfeld?
I'm sorry, it was the Moops. The Moops.
It's the Moops.
All right, so today, this story comes from fanfiction.net. The author is called Toro Shipper, and the title of the story is Giving Daisies. As always, we will put this the link to this story in the description so you can either read it for yourself and also to give the artist credit. And the author's note is, it was then settled, but not without the teary sobs and cries. They parted as friends, yet as lovers, at heart. They remained throughout Ned's fairly natural life. Rated T for suicidal themes, and I do not own Pushing Daisies. The awesomeness that is Brian Fuller does that for me, unedited.
Ooh, boy, suicide. You know I love that shit.
Yeah. I like how he has to go, it's unedited. Get ready for some shit grammar.
Oy
All right. I have to do a
do you
British
need do you need an intro thing like it's
not. Okay, better.
In the end, the pie maker figured out yet another catch, stringed along to his natural powers. He had long suspected this with his dog Digby, the first living organism he had brought back to life after he, Digby, had been run over with an 18-wheeler truck. It was only when Lily, Chuck's mother, had begun to feel age racing up to her. It was only then, when both Chuck and the pie maker discovered the inevitable split. Digby had been alive far too long, and the only rational reason to that was that he was immortal because of Ned's magic touch.
Oh no, I believe that because the dog has like been around for like 20 years technically. If you like do the math, and you're like, how is this dog still alive? It's like a golden retriever. It's not like a little chihuahua that
Yeah, like little dogs live longer.
Little dogs don't die.
Yeah. Because like the whole thing where he becomes a pie maker because he's able to bring like wilted fruit back to life.
Yep.
Also, all right.
That's amazing power. Why isn't there a Marvel movie for that guy?
I'm sure I'm guessing it's like one of the X-Men where it's the Pete Holmes sketches where he's like interviewing possible X-Men.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing there's one of those people where he's like, get the hell out. That's not like a good superpower.
You probably just hang out in like the superhero infirmary.
Yeah, and just be like boop boop. All right. He was immortal because of Ned's magic touch, and there was no reason to think Chuck wouldn't be an exception to the immortality he had granted the minute he resurrected the dead who remained undead. He made the point of italicizing un.
Okay.
So good for them.
Thank God, I wouldn't have known.
Okay. It was then settled, but not without the teary sobs and cries. They parted as friends, yet as lovers, at heart. They remained throughout Ned's fairly natural life. They became a family in more ways than anyone would think.
How?
I don't know.
Hey, does IVF fuck up like... That's a loophole we never thought of in Pushing Daisies. What if they decide to have a family? Could they IVF it, like in vitro fertilization?
Yeah. That was one of the stories that I considered. There was like a thing where Olive carries their IVF baby. But like, have you ever met somebody who was conceived through IVF? They're always a little off.
Or they're twins.
Yeah, they're twins or like...
They're addicted to whippets.
Speaking of whippets, before this episode started, I was waiting for these two in the courtyard. There was a dude with like a blue rubber glove, and he was just blowing it up and then like bouncing it around and then letting it go and then he'd catch it again and blow it back. He was just sitting. I have no idea what he was doing there.
Why are you connecting that with in vitro fertilization?
Yeah.
I want to know where this is going.
That was for the whippets. Yeah.
Okay.
But that kid was probably conceived through in vitro fertilization. Bam! Full circle. All right.
All right.
All right, go back.
I need to learn to be more patient.
Okay.
Go
In more ways than anyone could think, after P.I. Emerson Todd's marriage to Simone Hunden, one of the 4 widows of one polygamist and dog breeder, Harold Hunden, they were blessed with a child, a baby boy, who would be a godchild of both. Quote-unquote, pie boy and dead girl.
Can that be the new Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Pie Boy
Tiger
and Dead Girl.
Pie Boy and Dead Girl.
Also, we never. So Emerson Codd had a daughter that, like, you know, apparently at the last episode knocked on the door and is like, "I'm looking for Emerson Codd. Is that my dad?" So we completely forgot about this little girl, and Emerson Codd moved the fuck on.
Yeah, because like
every black dad does. Yeah, I kid.
Okay, that's messed up. The
Because
like
it's funny.
The reason the show ended was because of the writer's strike, right?
Yes.
So how long in advance do you think they knew the show was like going to be cut off at the end of the second season?
Apparently, they just dipped out on 4 episodes. They're like, we can't do these and give the writers credit, so we'll just put them in our back pocket. And one of them was like a like stampede or a flood or some shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the episode was called Stampede or like?
Oh no, like the episode was like about a flood or a stampede or some natural disaster.
Okay. That would be kind of interesting, or you're just walking around like the devastation of a hurricane, just being like, "Hey, what's up? How'd you die? Giant wave? Cool. Moving on."
Yeah.
Well, why would they answer you if they're dead?
Well, I mean, if he's able to like raise the dead with the poke,
Oh right.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
They catch serial killers pretty quickly using that method.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The Golden State Killer wouldn't have had Patton Oswalt's wife figuring that shit out. Instead, he's walking around being like, "All right, who was that? Oh, it was this dude. Cool. See ya."
that'd be the worst mystery novel ever. Hey, who did this? Oh, it was my neighbor. Okay, cool. Book over.
Have you ever played the Phoenix Wright games?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a like ongoing thing where some people in that universe can channel dead people, and like they take over their body.
Oh yeah.
And yet they don't use that to solve murders as often as you would think.
Yeah.
Most of the time, like when they channel a victim, the victim was like, "I don't know, man, the lights were out. I couldn't see shit." You're like,
Is that right? Mm-hmm.
Great.
Right. Okay.
Have you played those, Mia?
Nope.
They're quite awesome. It's you play as a lawyer, and it's like you pointing out contradictions and being like, "Actually, this evidence contradicts that." It's 3:00 in the morning, and I'm alone on a Saturday. Okay.
It's honestly I think that game inspired L.A. Noire, didn't it?
I could easily see that happening for sure.
Yeah, those are my favorite games ever because like it made me feel stupid like every time I tried to solve a murder case because I was like, "You're lying," and they're like, "No, he's actually telling the truth." I'm just making wild accusations at nothing, and then like I have to pull back like where it's like, "You rape kids, don't you? You rape kids." Like, "No, I don't rape kids," and I'm like, "Sorry, my
reset." Yeah,
reset.
Because like if you like make an accusation and you're wrong, the music keeps playing, or if you're right, it stops.
Yeah.
So like if you see the music keeps playing, you're like, "All right, reset," so I don't have to see the animation replay because it's humiliating.
Yeah.
All right. In a sense, they were a family, and they were parents to young J.R. in parentheses Jack Russell, named after the dog breed. And in a way, they escaped the reality with that responsibility to their grandson. They were both able to pretend they were together with a family of their own. Chuck soon accompanied her aunt and her mother on their European tour as their new manager, while Ned began to franchise and expand the Pie Hole throughout the country with the money he had saved up from his partnership with Emerson Codd, who he continued to work with until a fateful meeting with childhood sweetheart, no longer the lonely tourist, as she was once dubbed by the media during her death. Okay.
This is all making sense so far. Keep going.
Yeah, this is.
It's not that it like not all the stories don't make sense. It's just like some of them just read bad. You know? During the Mermaid Darling's homecoming tour, she met up with the pie maker.
I like the voice you're using for this.
So do I. I was just thinking that.
Thank you. Who had welcomed her back with open arms, figuratively, of course. Ned had been in his mid-30s, and yet he was seeing no one, which made Chuck upset, seeing that the reason they had went off on their different paths was that he could have a life he did not have as a child. They had broken up mutually so that he can have a family he needed. The pie maker believed one thing: their love would suffice, and that he would want no other family than the one he has with the not-so-lonely tourist.
Yes.
Oh my god. This is hard to do in an accent for this long.
Then don't.
I'm having a little bit of the fever head, my dear Atlas.
Do you want to take over? for me?
Okay.
You want to do the accent?
Yeah.
I want to hear Nick do the
Yeah,
accent.
just at the top of the page there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ned, being Ned, argued that he does not need the kind of family, but the pie maker was kidding no one but himself. Latex gloves and all. Oh, look at that, latex gloves. They danced on the rooftop that once held Chuck's beloved bees, as they exchanged their final goodbye, seeing that the reason why the pie maker couldn't possibly move on, due to the fact that there was always the possibility of them.
Wait, so you know how when you break up, like a couple breaks up because one of them wants to date somebody else, but they say, I'm just doing it. It's not you, it's me. And then they get mad when they are dating someone else. This is the only time in history that I've seen where it's the opposite. Where it's, I want to go fuck other people, and she's mad that he's not getting laid.
Yeah, because then they broke up for no good fucking reason.
I mean,
Why don't they adopt?
I think the main thing, I feel like
are these like nymphomaniacs who are dating and they're like, yeah, I want to see other people. Why are you not fucking?
Maybe she should like the whole. I thought the whole thing was they're together in spite of the fact that if he touches her, she dies. I feel like that's a good reason to end the relationship if you just can't keep up the latex and the saran wrap and the car divider anymore. Which, by the way, that sounds like a screaming metal death trap.
I don't know, your thoughts?
This fan fiction is. Where do we get to the gross stuff?
I think we're getting there.
They're not
Let's
always
see.
gross. I'm just saying that some of them are just
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually not badly written, this guy.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Like, I'm following what's happening.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on.
I'm not getting a headache yet.
I have to put on my voice again.
Is that a thing that happens where if you read a shitty book, it just you get a headache?
I'm like, ugh.
Triggered by Donald Trump Jr. Oh God, this is giving me a full-on.
We've gotten headaches on this podcast before, where it's just literally it reads like a toddler wrote it, where
or like a monkey in front of a typewriter.
Rocky was fighting not so good. Then he went to the end of the ring and punched Drago face all off. It's like, it's swear to God. I'm like, it's like, why would you do that to yourself? It's like, oh, you think that no one's gonna read this, huh? Well, this is why this podcast was invented.
I'm still waiting for somebody to be like, hey, bitch, you read my story on air and you made fun of it profusely. I'm coming for your ass.
But yeah, you wrote it 10 years ago. I'm sure you've changed and have a whole character arc of your own. Like, can you relax, please? I don't know. Let's go back to this story. I'll have to put on my voice. But as much as the alive-again adventurer entertained the hopeful idea, there was simply no chance of doing so. Along with Digby, her aunt Vivian, and mother Lily Charles, they flew once again to Europe, this time to settle permanently. Though in Europe, she did not forget about her godson and continued to spoil him rotten with gifts. Darling Mermaid Darling's memorabilia, which would fetch him a hefty price on eBay, sent him letters with pop-ups, parentheses, a craft and art she had learned from friend Emerson Card, parentheses, and celebratory gifts from random occasions such as graduations and birthdays. She kept herself busy with a business
You know what? Keep doing this. This is great.
Also, I have to mention, it was probably written so long ago, eBay was still really relevant. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, people still use eBay, don't they? Like, you
but
still gotta sell, like, your dead uncle's fucking,
like, in the 00s, 04, 07, eBay was the shit.
Oh, yeah.
I wish that we called the...
this was before Amazon Prime, yo.
I wish we called the aughts the 00s. That would have been so much fucking cooler.
Yeah, ought sounds stupid.
Yeah.
I ought to. No, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I ought to. Like,
Go back, Stewie. Read the story, Stewie.
Why weren't you doing this from the beginning? This is so much better.
This is what improv is. She kept herself busy with a vintage venture, the cup pie, a brainchild she had formed during her relationship and stay with the man who brought her back to life. She kept herself busy, and yet she often found herself tear-stricken as she clutched a picture to her chest. As she clutched a framed photograph of her and the pie maker along with their godson, Jack Russell or J.R., close to her heart as she cried herself to sleep.
I like how they have to explain what JR stands for.
When they already mentioned it.
Yeah. But also, like, I don't care if you're named after the dog breed. That kid is like, so, what's your name? My name's Jack. Do you have a middle name? No.
I
No.
No, my parents hated me.
don't get people that don't have middle names. It costs nothing to add a stupid middle name. When the baby is born, just put like a letter. Just put one letter, and you will never know what the letter stands for until
At the
Ulysses S. Grant was just S.
Yeah.
It was just the letter S.
I still think that like the idea of the middle name is something like that's different culturally, because like some have like, you know, it's after my aunt or something, or my grandma, or in my case it's the patriarch of my mom's family, Hammond.
Hammond.
Yeah, Richard Hammond Tubman. So there's a bunch of
Atlas Hammond Novak.
Do you have a middle name, Nick?
Yes, I do. It's my father's name. It's Nicholas Thomas Kane. That's my full name.
You sound like a writer from like 1867. Like after the end of the Civil War, Nicholas Thomas Kane moved from the south to the north to avoid the carpetbaggers.
To avoid the nudist colony trying to recruit.
And then he started watercolors.
Do you have a middle name? Yeah.
Alexandra. My mom just thought it was pretty. No good reason. She just liked Alexandra, and my dad was born in Alexandria, Egypt, so she's like, okay, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Why she didn't call me Alexandria is beyond me. But
it's just Alexandra, not
Alexandra.
Yeah.
No, Drea. Just Dra. And my middle name is longer than my first and last name combined.
That's really funny.
Like Mia Alexandra Levy. Makes me feel like I'm the queen of the Nile.
I mean,
but I like Mia fucking Mars.
Your stage name with that middle name, basically, it sounds like Cartman. Man!
Fucking Mars.
Yes, hon.
Yeah.
God, Nick, you're good at voices. Speaking of voices, go back to this fan fiction where the guy has to constantly explain what he's already done.
Yeah. Like we said.
To Nick, or do you mean Stewie?
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm a method acted impressionist. Jesus.
Wow, you don't even know how to say what you are.
I know.
Go back, Stewie.
So, Ned, if you know who that is, although reluctant to do so, had eventually moved on from childhood sweetheart Charlotte Charles, the girl next door who called Chuck. He was often set on blind dates, courtesy of one Olive Man, due to the persistence of Chuck Charles, who she was in cahoots with. Okay, this is a run-on sentence. Jesus. Okay, hold on. Let me try
skip
that
a
again.
paragraph.
Let me try that again. No, I'm reading it.
We're on a mission now.
You getting the whole thing, man.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Hold on.
Oh, it's so long.
And moved on and had a family of his own, and was a family man since then, who smiled warmly and tenderly at his family. But a few selected friends could see right through the facade and spot the weary heart he carried along throughout his life.
Oh.
With his firstborn, Peter, he considered making Chuck the godmother, but it was like reopening a wound and rubbing all over it.
Okay, I can't do that voice today.
I'm still fucking impressed, man.
The lowest voice gives me so much happiness for so little, time.
I feel my ovaries clench when I hear that voice.
Does it frighten you? It's like, oh crap. Why
it sounds like, what did I do wrong?
No, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just annoying.
I mean, the lowest voice is like how you can go to Taco Bell with like a nickel and get like a Crunchwrap Supreme. You get so much for so little. It is the most comedically efficient voice that he has.
Thank you, Atlas.
You're welcome.
I don't know why more homeless people don't eat at Taco Bell.
I don't know. Maybe it's the prices? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Yeah.
The real estate out there, it's not that good. I've seen a lot better dumpsters.
Okay. I'm going to finish the sentence.
Who had died with a blood vessel and her brain had burst, thus killing her instantly before she was resurrected. Who then died after kissing young Ned goodnight on the forehead. Mwah! Your turn, Stewie.
Okay, for his second child, his son, Ned named him after an unlikely person, his former Flame's father, Charles. The man who had killed because he was in proximity and resurrected, and the same man who stole his car and drove off into the distance, leaving his daughter, abandoning her much like how his own father abandoned 3 sons. Wow, that was a lot.
So much, this is all stuff you can read off of the Wikipedia for Pushing Daisies.
Yeah, I think so.
And, we mentioned it during the Seinfeld episode. I guarantee you it'll come up a fuck ton more. Fanfiction simultaneously thinks that you haven't seen the show and you've seen everything in the show at the same time.
Okay, I have to do a little bit of devil's advocacy because the narrator is very long and long-winded and like Charlotte Charles was born and loved cheese. You know, they're into that like fairy tale writing, but this is still too much. Like I saw the show already. Like
Yes. Yeah,
but like they were doing that during the pilot episode for your benefit. Like this is
the story of a girl. Sorry.
yes, who couldn't touch.
Who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
And then she got strangled by some random guy on a cruise ship.
And now she died.
Nice.
And then she died. Okay. Keep going, Stewie.
Although the certain decision earned the pie maker certain criticism from friends Olive, Randy Madden, P.I. Emerson Card. These are characters that Stewie would make up.
Or Roger the alien.
They knew the answer long before they interrogated.
Okay, seagulls, take me home. Yeah!
It was his pain homage toward the girl he had let go to live the life they both have longed to live, to her sacrifice.
You know, these actually could sound like Roger disguises.
Oh, yeah, they
Emerson Codd, private investigator. You know, with the hands.
Cuss mustard!
Captain Francois Dubonnet.
Okay, what I'm going to do is a different voice here. This is David Attenborough. His friends and trusted companions had long died. P.I. Emerson Card was killed because of an asthma attack.
Really?
While he was trailing a criminal. Yes.
An asthma attack.
Yes.
Why is it that everybody... Okay, so his mom dies of a brain aneurysm.
They're very fragile people.
Chuck gets strangled. Asthma attack. Do any of them just die from, like, poor diet? Or, like, something that's actually their fault?
Well, Chuck really does like cheese, so you'd think that would kill her.
You ever see that show Misfits? It was a British show where it's about, like, a bunch of convicts and they all get superpowers.
Oh, I heard of it, but I didn't want to watch it.
There's one of the villains in that show. He can control milk with his mind.
What?
So everyone makes fun of him because, of course, you would. But he realizes that he can kill people if they've eaten dairy in the last 24 hours. So he'll, like, clog people's arteries with cheese they ate earlier, or, like, wrap cheese around their central cortex, or, you know, like, move the milk they drank up through their trachea and strangle them from it's like super fucked up. But just every time I think of like the clogged arteries or something, I think lactokinesis.
Whoa.
Yeah, that show's pretty fucked up. I would give it a watch if you haven't already.
That is crazy. That sounds like my kind of show. I hate generic superpowers. Like, what about a superpower where I can strangle someone with milk from the inside?
No. There's one where, like, if he feels immense regret, he can rewind time.
What? I want that.
Yeah, but like only I forgot what the exact parameters were, but like there's that. There's one where he's immortal, where if you kill him, he immediately comes back to life.
Like Kenny from South Park?
Basically, yes. Before Kenny was, like, before they kind of figured out Kenny's thing in South Park. Because before they didn't explain it, then there was that whole Mysterion thing. And then they, like, gave you a concrete thing for Kenny. So it was that, and the way the milk guy gets around that is he gives him a stroke but doesn't kill him. So he's just brain dead in a hospital bed somewhere.
Just kill him, you know. Oh my God,
well, no,
that is wasting up hospital bed space.
Well, no, because if he kills him, he just comes back to life, right? So yeah, so like that's how he disposes of him.
I just freeze him.
It's not a bad idea, but again, most of the superpowers are ridiculous. Like one of the girls, if you touch her, like skin-to-skin contact, you get immense sexual, like
it's unbelievable aphrodisiac.
Yeah, like. But, like, just, I want to fuck you right here, right? Like, people get animalistic about
Okay,
it.
that is a terrible superpower.
Oh, yeah. Watch Misfits.
Don't ever let your dad hug you.
Don't let your dad hug you. Don't go to Garage Mike. Don't go to any crowded comedy club ever.
Never been to Garage Mike. What happens there?
Oh, Garage Mike's great. Garage Mike is hosted in this little alley in
Is that the one
Koreatown.
behind
Victor Martinez, behind Food for Less.
That one, yeah.
So much funny shit happens there, man. Like, not too long ago, there was a fire. I wish I was there that night. But apparently, some guy just came up and said, hey, I'm going to set this on fire. Some random homeless guy. And everyone's like, okay, man, do your thing. And then he fucking set it on fire.
Oh.
So we got mad for doing exactly what he said he was going to do? Or
Well,
is
we
it just
didn't
the fire ran out of control?
Well,
Like, he just burned a bunch of garbage. Albamani had like a little emergency fire extinguisher. Apparently the fire department came. I'm like, you guys, why didn't anyone try to find the arsonist? They're always around because they want to watch their handiwork. You know, he's probably hiding behind one of those, like, little fucking, what are they called? Shipping containers behind Food for Less. You
Oh, right,
fucking
'cause
know.
they're all over there, right?
They're all...
Yeah. It's like a shipping... Or not a
It's
shipping
behind the
container.
Food for Less,
Yeah.
and then there's the alley behind Food for Less. If you hear rap music and smell weed, you know you're at Garage Mike.
I mean, that could be literally anywhere in Koreatown. Rap music and weed.
I really want to go to this mic now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
oh,
I
yeah,
really
it's
do.
tonight.
Oh, fuck. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just go up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna blow this up.
Now, don't you get like an 8-minute set for free?
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah,
Ooh.
For free?
for free. Yeah, but Victor has a kid, so don't be an asshole and either like if you bring food, you get extra time. If you bring like a fuck ton of weed, you get extra time. Or if you ask Victor, hey dude, I gotta work on something, might give you like Victor's cool as shit. Now and then throw him a buck because the man has a child.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
yeah, throw him you could get 8 minutes and food for $1.
For
Fuck
a
yeah.
dollar.
I'll give him fucking 5. All right. Okay, so I have to go back. When revived, he wasted no time in giving out details on who the criminal is and what he needs to tell his children, daughter Penny and son J.R., and his wife, two-time widower Simon God. Former employee and business partner Olive Mann had died peacefully in her sleep. When brought back to life for exclusive minute, she thanked the pie maker for opening the pie hole, for hiring her, for rescuing her from the nunnery, and for indirectly leading her towards the man who would be her very own Mr. Right, her very own taxidermist. It was almost cruel, the pie maker decided, how he would be the last to go as he attended their funerals, yet it brought him relief, knowing that the woman in the back of the church, heavily dressed in black and heavily dressed in clothes, watched silently.
Heavily dressed in black and heavily dressed in clothes.
Yeah, heavily dressed in clothes, like heavily.
I'm in a snowsuit in the back of this church.
A
right.
disturbing amount of clothing. You ever worn a disturbing amount of clothing?
Usually when
Quite
people
the
say
opposite.
that, yeah, I was gonna say usually when people say that it's a lack of clothing, not like why are they wearing like a snowsuit and like pants
I don't know.
and
In
more
LA.
pants in LA or something like that? Yeah,
Man, I don't know why they're wearing it, but
I didn't know
Turn me
snow
on, dog.
pants existed until I was like 10 years old.
snow pants when it snows all day. The
Apparently only losers wear snow pants.
I mean, if you go to the snow, you would want
yeah, if you
Snow
want,
pants,
if you live in
yeah.
snow, you need snow pants.
like
But
I
if you wear them just cause.
I went skiing a bunch growing up. You need snow pants.
Well,
for
yeah,
sure.
that makes sense. But
Yeah.
if you just like walk around in snow pants and go
yeah.
to school, apparently that's lame.
I guess so.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. You have to.
Lawn underwear and jeans if you're gonna do that. The
Okay, so she looks like a black Michelin man at the funeral of Olive.
Yes.
That's not racist. It's just colored.
sure.
See, I feel like this is the proper way to read this story. Is just like as a constant run-on sentence.
Has anything happened yet? It's just people.
No,
And
it's
nothing
just-
has happened.
Okay, you know what's happened? All of his friends are dead.
Dead.
That's what happened.
That's what's happened so far.
Okay.
And we
All
have
his friends are dead, and he decided not to bring any of them to life.
yes. It was it was closest the pie maker got to being with her after the farewell dance on the once bee-inhabited rooftop in Papin County. He felt selfish, yes, but the pie maker's heart rejoiced, even though he did not acknowledge her during those funerals, even though he could not bring himself to say a word or even look at her, which happened to be the greatest regret of his life. See, it is a run-on sentence. Like he's adding, or he or she is adding way too much shit to everything they're thinking. It's like we get it.
He's the opposite of Chuck Palahniuk.
Yes.
All right. Where
Oh,
we
I
at
love
here?
Chuck Palahniuk.
Palahniuk, is that it?
I think
Where are we
I
at?
think that's it.
Yeah,
Oh,
where
yeah,
we-
you're sorry, you're right there.
Here. The
Yeah.
retired. Okay.
Yeah, you're right there.
The retired pie maker, who now happened to be 81 years, 5 months, 3 weeks, 14 days, 7 hours, and 29 minutes old, had long been widowed and had recently been diagnosed with incurable Tracy Mosby's disease. Had flew himself
What
over
disease?
What was that?
Tracy Mosby's disease.
Tracy Mosby's disease.
Isn't that from How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is.
They named a disease after How I Met Your Mother. Okay.
Oh,
This
No.
is a crossover episode,
This is a-
everybody.
Wait. So that means this was written around the time
How I Met Your
of
Mother.
at the end of How I Met Your Mother.
This was written. Yeah, June
Yeah,
7,
you make a great
2016.
You make a great detective.
Dude, I always wanted to be a private eye when I was a kid, like L.A. Noir style private eye, like
Yeah.
climbing on rooftops with magnifying glasses and shit.
I'm Detective Mars. Yeah, I could see that happening.
That's a good name, Mia Mars. That's
Oh,
a good name
yeah.
for a detective.
Sometimes I'm afraid that Mia Mars will be the best thing I ever write. But then I remember I'm funny.
Some self-confidence
Olé.
right there.
Well, that's better
Yeah,
than being a detective.
This was written after the How I Met Your Mother finale, which
Okay, from Tracy Mosby.
Disease.
I can't take that.
I think it's just like
I was taking this semi-seriously until that happened.
you were taking this serious. The bad
Semi-
reading.
taking this
serious.
serious.
Okay, whatever.
Semi-
honestly,
Seriously.
Alice, I skimmed this and I'm like, okay, this is silly, but like I was taking it kind of seriously.
All right,
I didn't get this far.
Tracy Mosby's disease had flew himself over to Switzerland to perform his last deed. After arriving in Switzerland, the very first thing the old and frail pie maker asked his grandchildren was to dial a number he had memorized by heart to call a certain immortal woman he had revived called Charlotte Chuck Charles to pay him a visit and to say goodbye. Stop saying her name. You don't have to say the full name anymore. We got it.
Or a girl named Chuck. Come on.
Yeah.
Or Charles. Charlotte Charles. Or just Chuck. Oh, my God. It's so long, these sentences.
Yeah. So, the man with thick brown hair, unlike his grandfather, began the conversation with, currently, once again, lonely tourist Charlotte Charles. You're his grandchild, too? She nodded, unable to trust her mouth or her vocabulary in this situation. Your mom was his daughter from an ex-girlfriend? That had hit her hard in the heart. For the ex-girlfriend, unbeknownst to the grandchildren of the man she loved, was standing right in front of them. You know, for something like this, we ought to have, like, a diagram or something.
We need like a diagram. I thought he never got over her. How does he have grandkids? I'm so confused.
We need pictures. Like
I'm
we're
confused
Americans. We
and
need
I'm-
pictures.
We need graphs and pictures. We grew up on PowerPoint.
Yeah,
I'm a visual learner.
I grew up on
Okay.
Zoom. Okay, I need pictures.
Zoom?
The Nickelodeon show.
Right.
Remember that Zoom.
Forgot about Zoom.
Yeah.
Cartoons.
For all that. Yeah.
Yeah. The kids' SNL. For Charlotte, it was almost humorous if it weren't for the fact that she was not meant to be there, or she was not meant to exist in this life the moment she had originally died. You don't look like him, another grandchild commented, effectively shrinking her patience, like how it had once rapidly decreased to the point of nothingness during the interrogation Blanche Remora, another of the half of the Aqua dolls.
Oh, God.
You okay?
Keep going.
Okay. But much to her supreme relief, there was someone to vouch for her. P.I. and part-time restaurateur Jack Russell Todd, her godson, was about to... her godson who knew about her secret. Soon,
See, it's easy to trip over this
know,
story.
so
it's
much
easy to do
fucking
it.
alliteration.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, the alliteration is cute, but it's like, oh my God.
Like you're not BoJack Horseman. Like you can't do is that alliteration?
Neil Beale, the Navy SEAL, or
Yeah.
Neil McBeal, the Navy SEAL, or something.
Yeah.
Like, they did it first, but it's... Okay, we get the joke. Move on. You don't have to explain the joke every time. That's the death of the joke.
Right.
Soon, fine, if that's how you're going to be. Soon, Charlotte Charles entered the room that smelled of bleach and medication. She immediately felt her eyes fill up with tears as her vision blurred, slightly thankful for the medical mask she was required to wear for muffling her silent sob as she entered the room, not wanting to wake up the resting pie maker, who was enjoying his probable last at-will shut-eye. Immediately, a hand flew directly to her mouth, as yet another throaty sob threatened to escape her lips. She pressed it hard against her lips.
No, but she's wearing a mask, okay.
Yeah. As she placed the homemade cup pie she had baked for this occasion. She knew that she would have wanted a traditional pie, as she had always pointed out through the relationship. But this was made with her harvested honey. The lonely tourist was selfish enough to have the pie maker pass on with having something taste like home, something like a pie recipe her mother had used to prepare for him, even if it was only the bleach-infused sense of the cup.
What?
The cup pie she had brought for him, but it was actually for her benefit.
What? Are they saying the pie is bleach flavored now?
Because of the hospital.
Because, like, it kind of mixes with the scent of bleach
Oh, right. Okay.
or something. I don't know.
Okay.
A lot of this is like gobbledygook.
Yeah,
You know?
this is
It's
like
not
too
gobbledygook.
much imagery.
There is too much imagery. You're right. There's too much imagery. Like,
It's like the one author that's like, Meryl was walking down the street. The clouds were extremely puffy today. The cirrus clouds that flowed gently across the way. Like, I get it. Oh my god.
This reminds me of that one kid who like did imagery right once, and the teacher's like, "Good imagery, keep it up," and he's like, "Fucking overdrive time," and then just goes too far. Are you watching me sleep? A raspy voice.
That was a good voice. I
it's
that
like
one.
watching you come back to life. Say that's the next fucking. Say that's the next fucking line. It's like watching you come back to life, and I will be happy.
A raspy voice caused her eyelids to suddenly fly up. Charlotte Charles immediately cried when she saw the pie maker, who painstakingly still looked like the man he was once during his prime. "I'm sorry, Chuck. I didn't mean to startle you. That wouldn't be my intention. Ever." The pie maker confessed, giving her a sheepish grin and an apologetic look. Erupted from the once dead girl with a throaty chuckle mixed with the sob. I assume that, which caused the pie maker to ask and consider why it was a mixture, her reaction. No, it's all right. The usually bright and cheerful brunette smiled through her somewhat transparent medical mask. And to answer your question, Ned, I wasn't, technically, watching you sleep. The pie maker laughed at her response. I was waiting for you to wake up, but in the process, yes, she conceded and gave up. I was watching you sleep. She admittedly, sheepishly, which earned I think he meant admitted.
Sheepishly admitted?
Thank you. Which earned her a half smile from her ex-boyfriend, Ned. We know who it is. All right. How are you? Chuck somehow found humor in that, seeing that he was going to die. Seeing that he was going to die, and he asked her how she was doing. I'm quite fine.
I'm quite fine.
Can I guess how this is going to end?
Yeah, go for it.
They're going to kiss and they both die together, Romeo and Juliet style.
Okay.
It's a good guess. Let's see where it goes. Soon the Asian...
we might have to jump to the end.
No, we'll make it, I think.
We'll make it? All
If
right.
we're quick, yeah.
We'll make it.
If we stop dicking around.
Soon the aged pie maker began a coughing fit, which filled Chuck with worry as she watched the once dashing man reduced to illness. Seeing as that I'm wrapped around in so much plastic, I think you deserve this. She leaned in slowly and carefully and embraced the man she loved, trying to breathe in his authentic scent. The act of affection caused the pie maker to laugh cheerfully, his eyes crinkled, yet shining with delight. I needed that, he confessed, giving her a half-smile, something that reminded her of their time together. I mean, a hug is like an emotional Heimlich, right? Then, only then, the lonely tourist cried as she looked at the pie maker's brown orbs.
Brown what?
Orbs.
Emotional Heimlich really made me angry when they.
I mean, that's part of that's in.
Well, that's in the
that's
show.
in the show. That's not that
Oh,
bit of
okay.
a problem.
Oh.
Brown orbs,
What is brown orbs?
eyes. I assume, because he has brown eyes.
The chef's chocolate salty balls.
I mean, sure. This looks like the guy put eyes into, or like iris into thesaurus.com and took like the most tangentially related one, orbs. That sounds good. Yeah. She smiled gratefully at the elderly man and hugged him a bit tighter, because she herself needed that emotional Heimlich as she caught a sob stuck in her throat. You remembered? She asked, a soft smile gracing her features. It had been something she told him the very day he had resurrected her, when he informed her of the restrictions of the relationship. The undead girl raised a brow, seeing that the pie maker was initially against hugs. Of course I did. I remember all the little things we did. He smiled fondly, reminiscing and revisiting the memories as he sniffed the air, smiling at the distinct smell of the pie and the non-traditional scent of honey.
And bleach.
And bleach. Honey and bleach.
It only made the scent so special for the pie maker, having something to remember, rather smell, a part of her pie. It's actually a crime of passion. His raspy voice mellowed down as if he was drowsy. It's a crime of passion, not realizing the passion in time. Isn't a crime of passion like for murder? Is
yeah,
that the,
that's yeah.
The Alive Again adventurer could no longer hide her feelings. Ned, I love you. I will always love you. It was unlike the cheery brunette to be this serious, but this occasion proved to be an exception to her, both the event and the man in the bed. I will never forget you. Soon, Charlotte Charles removed the necklace from her neck and gently placed it on the drowsy pie maker, whose 5 minutes is running. Out. Imagine if like that was on somebody's like heart monitor. All right, you got 5 minutes to say goodbye. Then we're unplugging the wire.
What fucking necklace?
I will get to that. The necklace was actually a locket.
No, the author will get to that.
Something like that, containing her picture and a bit of Digby's fur, who was not allowed inside the clinic, much to her and their mourning golden retriever's disappointment. It felt like the exhilarating 60 seconds during the interrogation of a once-dead corpse, except this took too much emotion and seemed to take an eternity.
I thought I turned that off.
Uh-oh. We got a call from the space saucer. We are here to absorb all your fan fiction.
Go away.
And then the alien went away.
415-31.
Spam call?
Thank you, Tyler. Hopefully not. It probably was a spam call. Maybe it was I don't know, but I'm going to have to call that back.
Maybe they'll leave a message.
Yeah, some guy's like,
Yeah, I was listening to your podcast, and I didn't like what you guys were saying about what was going on with the pie maker.
Dude, ever since I got on Kill Tony, I have random people on Instagram, like, hitting me up.
What, like slide in your DMs? Or
Slide in the DMs.
Damn.
It's like, greetings from Kuwait. I think you are a gorgeous creature.
Greetings from Kuwait. Wow.
I'm like, I forgot where Kuwait is. Isn't that the tiny little country? No, that's Qatar.
I thought it was a Danish.
All right, keep going.
All right, we're almost at the end.
Sorry about the phone.
We're halfway
No, it's okay.
there.
We'll edit it out. The magic of editing. And shout out to producer Tyler, who is off screen. Hooray! All right. Okay. You can end this now, but I prefer you live on, well, again. He made a remark, a sly smile resting on his lips. I'm offering this now, because it might not work after my death. Charlotte Charles was left speechless. Touch his cheek could be a little like her own resurrection, except she was going to die this time. A kiss to the lips would be poetic.
Called it.
But if you're going to do this, his voice brought her attention back to reality. Chuck, please do it after I fall asleep. I couldn't bear to watch you die. It was only then that she decided to stop all this. Charlotte Charles broke up with the pie maker because she couldn't live her life knowing that he was depriving himself of everything he wanted just to be with her. She figured that she may do the love of her life the last favor she could actually do for him, put him and his happiness first. So she shook her head. No. Charlotte Charles sealed her fate as the woman who would eventually watch everyone she loved go, yet she sealed that fate long ago. You gave me a second chance at life, Ned. He smiled lopsidedly. It was a lazy smile, but she knew it was all he can afford to give, along with his heart and devotion. I'll live the life, Ned. I'll travel the world again, not for me. She covered up his arm and looked lovingly in the pie maker's eyes that had shut down, seemingly asleep if it weren't for the pressure in her hand. For you. She barely got it out, her voice breaking. For you. Her voice breaking. Take care of Digby for me. Much like the woman he loved, he barely got the words out, gasping every once in a while for air. I love you, Chuck. I love you, Charlotte Charles.
Please. TiVo Big Mouth.
Check out American Vandal, Sundays at 10. All right.
Nice.
Impulsively, she, while still wearing the surgical mask, leaned in and kissed the pie maker, much like how they kissed through the plastic wrap and cling film before she loosened his grip on her hand, slumping back, sleeping until death came. And here's the last part.
Ooh.
Okay, last
Yeah.
part. Okay, oh man, okay.
Oh.
And so the lonely tourist, Charlotte Charles,
This is the only way we could end it.
buried the man she loved, assuming the name Catherine Kitty Pims once again, a name she had used, a name the pie maker had suggested for her to use as her cover whenever they need a rose. Whenever the need arose.
A ruse?
A rose. A ruse, yes.
Cool Whip. Yeah.
Cool whip. Much like her own funeral, he was buried with something. Dash, a necklace containing home. It didn't actually say dash, I just wanted to say dash. During the funeral, it was Digby who placed the flowers on his coffin.
What?
Yes, it was.
It's a well-trained dog right there.
Yes, it was.
What, like in his teeth?
I guess so.
Yeah. How you think dogs carry stuff around? That's how dogs do.
In
I
their
mean-
pockets?
Oh, I'd love it if dogs had pockets.
Dude,
Do you
if
have
dog-
pockets?
Dude, if
What the
dog
hell
had
is that?
pockets.
Pockets?
If
That's so
dogs had
cute.
pockets that can hold their own leash, they can hold their
Oh.
own shit bags, it'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be a great little online service if you needed to train a dog. Like
Dog pockets.
Yeah, it's like I need you to go to Atlas's house. Like, barf, barf, and he runs off.
I mean, my mom's dog Thor will constantly. He has this like stuffed moose. He never chews on it. He just picks it up and carries it around with him. But like, it's the thing where like dogs will just walk around with it in their mouth. It's a thing. You have a dog, Mia.
Yeah, I do.
So
My dog doesn't play with toys. My dog doesn't do dick except lie around.
I mean,
That's their job.
if they're enjoying themselves, why not? That's my mom's cat. She just lies around. Shout out to Sophie the cat,
Mm.
the queen.
The immortal dog who does not age. She broke down while she gave the daisies as Digby tried to comfort the both of them by licking her tears away and by tasting salt. Something Digby loved, yet it would not suffice. The dog, much like Olive Mad had once said, needs to be touched with affection. And although the woman who fed him continued to give him affection, and although he understood... Oh my god. And although, it's like... Okay. And although he understood why the pie maker could never pet him, he needed the touch of his master, the affection he was deprived. Oh, I know! I'm sorry. This is starting to make me angry.
Are you getting a headache?
I'm getting a little bit of a headache.
And
It's
that's
okay.
the bad and bad rating. Roll credits.
No,
everyone.
we're not done yet.
I know. I'm just being an ass.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. PI/restauranter J.R. Kai gave out the eulogy.
Is that Nick Kroll as what's her name in
That's
Big
Lola.
Mouth?
That's
Lola
Lola.
in Big Mouth.
I love
Okay.
Lola. Seeing how his godmother could not possibly bring herself to say a few words, that fucking hurts my throat. He reminded the lonely tourist much of his late father, P.I., Emerson Codd, Henry Mann, Oliver Mann's granddaughter.
Oh my god.
That was alliteration right there. Suing for the funeral, reminding her once again of a person she used to have, the first person she considered her sister and best friend. After the funeral, Chuck and Digby made good on the promise she swore upon. She lived her life, challenging traditions the way the pie maker could never, seeing the world again the way never couldn't possibly have, and making each day a lot more precious by living in the way they would have lived it. I do not own Publishing Daisies or anything. Brian Fuller couldn't do The end.
Did he just call it Publishing Daisies?
No, I did that.
Oh.
I do not own Pushing Daisies or anything.
Oh,
Brian
okay.
Fuller and co does that.
Okay, now I know why it's called Giving Daisies, because it's a funeral. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's so that entire thing was just
Pointless?
One scene. Yeah.
We didn't need it in life? That gave me no closure about Pushing Daisies at all?
If anything, that made it sadder because he's dead.
I still think they should have kissed and they could have done a lot more Pushing Daisies references
Yeah.
that aren't about the characters. Oh, it was all characters and no talk.
So,
It was.
so like little dialogue of consequence. It was just all exposition.
Yes.
You know.
That's all it was. And all like adding and adding and adding. And like,
Although,
Therefore.
Hey, do Command F and see how many times they do although.
Ooh, let's see how that. All right. Command F. Although appears 5 times.
No, it doesn't.
No,
No,
I'm
it
serious.
doesn't.
That's it.
Oh, come on. I mean, that one time, like,
Let's
after.
see. Therefore.
Oh.
Nope.
And? How about and?
109 times. Got any others? But is 20 times.
What else did they say? A lot of the
287 commas.
How about Pie Maker? How many times do they bring up that name?
Pie Maker appears 45 times.
It's like, yeah, well, where's the dialogue? I don't know.
You know what it is? You never find out Ned's last name, even though you find out everybody else's last name. Ned is just the Pie Maker or Young Ned.
That's gonna be my new Xbox Live username, the Pie Maker / own noobs teabag 420.
I mean, like, this is the part of the show where we're supposed to be like, so how would you punch this up? What would you do? Is it just have them kiss and then that's it? Or
All right, here's what I think would be awesome. How the show would end.
okay, so like the entire show, not just this story.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So I think the reason why Dad left
Okay.
is because he had the superpower too. So here's how it happens. Number one, Ned touches Chuck, and then Ned's dad touches Chuck, and then they can live together happily. And that's the whole story.
Oh, okay. So you would do like Ned's dad because it's not Ned.
Yeah, Ned's dad left him
Yeah.
at boarding school.
Yeah.
Just like dropped him off and was like, bye!
Yeah.
And you never find out like how he went to college or anything after that.
Yeah.
Nothing about his teenage years. I also want like his one buddy that he like roomed with in boarding school to come show up and be like, hey, I need your help and let's be buddies, because Ned has no friends.
Yeah.
Ned has no friends except for Emerson Codd, and Olive isn't really a friend because Olive cannot get off his balls.
I mean, you can have people who like want your bud and be friends with them. It's a thing.
Yeah, but she's like in love with him. I love you, Ned.
Oh, okay. So it's not like, it's different if there's an attraction there, but like.
Oh yeah, Lee Pace is fucking hot as shit. That lanky bod, yum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like him lanky.
Or like there was this girl I knew in college who like we did an FWB thing for a while and we're best friends now. But like it's just the kind of thing where, you know, you can find each other attractive and just be friends.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's called not talking so much.
So wait, so
You don't have to get to know them. You don't have to get to know them, man. You
be
don't
like-
have to talk to them at all.
It's like knowing them a lot would be like, yo, what's your Smash character? That's too much. That's too much, in my opinion.
Wario and Lucas.
See, now I know him too well. We have to break up.
Mine's Daisy.
It's a good one.
Mario and Marth.
Marth.
Yeah.
I like Marth. He's
Dude,
cool.
the tip is dope. That's
Dude.
if you're good at spacing, Marth is like one of the most rewarding characters. I'm just good in the air, so you know Lucas is back air spiking people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bad rating the Smash Bros podcast.
I just love the Mario's cape that reflects shit.
Yeah.
I've won lots of battles really satisfyingly that way. They're like, I'm gonna get you. They'll fire that super huge beam and then it'll go boop, and then it falls right back at them.
Everybody loves Mario Kart. Everybody loves Smash Brothers. Why are we not talking about Mario Party anymore? I fucking love Mario Party, and it is
Mario
gone
Party
by-
fucking ruins friendships.
Yeah, like
Because of the-
Monopoly. It's great.
Well, no, it's because of the RNG. Like, if you beat people in Mario Kart or you beat people at Smash Bros, that's just fucking skill right there. You showed your friends who's boss. If you win at Mario Party, everyone hates you. Like, especially now with the economic situation a lot of people are in. It's like, dude, I can barely afford to pay my rent as is, and you took all my stars. Fuck you.
Right. It's
All right?
no, but like I agree with Mia. Like, why
The
are
bourgeoisie. Fuck you.
friendships aren't ruined because of Mario Party? You need like a lot of people to play it, but it's like,
What do you mean? That's exactly what friendships are ruined for.
no, dude. I'm like, I wouldn't be like, dude. I wouldn't care if I lost a Mario Party game. It's like you're playing as a made up dinosaur
no,
with
I mean-
spikes on it.
I
and
mean,
you're
like,
trying
when
to,
you're
you're trying
10.
to catch candy from a basket. Like, it's not real life. Now Monopoly, I understand. Monopoly, I get why that ruins.
Monopoly
friendships.
will fuck you up business-wise, and there's more game pieces for you to fuck people over with. You can fuck over more people. You could fuck over the cannon. You could fuck over the battleship. You could fuck over little Scotty dog that everybody argues about. Everybody wants to be the Scotty
thimble.
dog.
No, everybody wants to
thimble.
be the iron, I thought, or the car.
Everyone wants to be the car or the
Yeah.
ship.
I want to be the hat. I like being the hat.
You like being the hat?
Top hat's
Being the
cool.
hat. I like being the hat.
You ever, like, what's the weirdest like version of Monopoly?
Oh my god, I have an answer to this.
Go.
Okay. Oh my god. So I was in Tulare, which is halfway between Fresno and Bakersfield
Okay.
Okay.
already.
Mm-hmm.
already you feel bad for those people.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they're in between the two biggest shitholes in California.
Yep.
Sorry, Bakersfield. Sorry, Fresno. You guys know you suck.
My mom dated somebody from Bakersfield who was super proud that he was from Bakersfield, and when she broke up with him, I was like, fucking good. He was insane, you know? Also, he does this thing where he'll send her a picture every, 3 months or so that has nothing to do with anything. Like, I just bought this new motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. You
Check
just,
out these fireworks. What are you doing? You know?
He wants to make her jealous.
Those
So
exact things.
point is, in Tulare, there's this bar called Barmageddon, which is like a video game bar. And,
Sweet name.
yeah.
Yeah.
And on Barmageddon, in the, what's it called, tabletop game shelf,
Yeah.
there is Tulariopoly, which is Monopoly with Tulare pieces and Tulare landmarks, like this guy's farm and the library.
That is amazing. You know that there's a dude in Tulare who, had
Also,
to contact Monopoly and be like, please make a Monopoly version about this
no,
town.
I think
Let's work
he
something
made
out.
it. I think
Oh.
he made it. It's actually
Oh,
pretty well made.
Custom-made Monopoly.
It's very well made, but
Yeah.
I can tell nobody ever played it.
Hmm.
Because everybody wants to get the fuck out of Tulare. So why would you go around the board and keep finding shit in Tulare? I don't know. Last time I went to Tulare, I almost, brought a cat home. I just brought a cat home. There was
Nothing
this
wrong
one
with the cat.
That sounds like a South Park parody of a game, like a board game, where it's like you gotta press on Charlie Sheen's head if you want to go forward, and then Charlie Sheen's like, yeah, just go forward, it's fine. You're winning. If you're winning, you get 5 steps more.
Oh my god. What's the weirdest Monopoly version you've seen?
Dude, I've never played a weird Monopoly. I played maybe the Star Wars version of Monopoly, but it's not really that weird. The weirdest one I've seen, I think it was Doctor Who. But I mean, nah, I don't know.
Pretty
I never
straightforward.
had weird games, weird knockoff games like Monopoly. I've never done that.
Criminal Minds Monopoly. That's the weirdest one I've seen.
Really?
Yeah.
That actually sounds fun.
I know, right? Anyway, so I think we're drawn to a close of this episode of Bad Reading. Mia,
Yes.
thank you very much for
Thank you for
coming
having
on
me.
this
This was
episode.
fun.
It was a blast.
It was. It actually was pretty fucking fun.
Although
Hey.
Although, something
Although, if you ever want to play Mario Party,
where can people find you on the internet and stuff?
well, I'm working on my YouTube page. Technology is not my friend. I'm like an Amish grandma. But you can find me on Instagram at Mia fucking Mars, spelled the way it sounds. And
We'll put links to all of her stuff in the
yeah,
in the show
I'm not
notes, so-
good at this technology self-promoting thing. But I'm getting better. That's my 2020 New Year's resolution is to
Kill
have
Tony.
a whole Google sheet all about me. That's it. Just the first page of Google is just me. That's all I want. No Japanese porn stars, no bad DJs, just Mia Mars the comic.
If you Google me, you just get stuff from when I worked at a local newspaper, a couple other weird things in there. But I'm hard to miss when you Google me. Atlas Novak.
Nice.
Nick, where can people find you?
You can find me at Millennial Comic on Instagram, and if you type in my name, it'll redirect you to Seth MacFarlane.
Seriously?
No.
Damn, that would have been so fucking cool. We look vaguely similar here, All right, you can find me at Atlas Novak, Novack, on Twitter or Instagram, and you can also find this here podcast at Bad Reading Pod on Twitter or Instagram. And thanks for listening, everybody.
And don't forget, to fucking like, comment, and subscribe.
Right. That's an important thing because it helps people find us easier. Because if you type us into YouTube, there's just the Seinfeld episode 6 things down. So would be nice for more people to find us. But thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Have a bad day.